I've been wanting a cast iron skillet for a few years now, and I'm excited to finally have one. I got this one from a relative. It's 60 years old, reportedly, and it is a Griswold brand. Griswold, Erie, Pennsylvania, number 8 cast iron skillet. The number 8 refers to the size. And you might have seen that it's a little bit rusty on the bottom, but that's pretty typical. And it's really cool to have one of these, and I wanted to make this video because I wanted to make my first scrambled eggs in this cast iron skillet. This is actually the first thing I've made with this cast iron skillet. I was going to get a new one. Would have cost me about 20 bucks. But this one is 60 years old, and I like the fact that obviously it was free and it's kind of a family heirloom, and these things last forever. I mean, there are cast iron skillets from the 19th century that are still in regular use. And they get better with age. They kind of age like wine, which is why it's kind of cool to have an old one. And there are certain old ones that, if they have a good track record, like if they were used at a really famous or well-respected restaurant or by a respected chef, they can run into the thousands of dollars. And not just because of the fame, but because of the fact that the cast iron absorbs the flavors of whatever it's cooked with. So as they get older, the food that you make with them gets richer and richer in taste. So they really are valuable things to have. And I've been interested in them for a while. And it's cool to finally have one. You can see that it's what they call pre-seasoned. That's why it looks so greasy. That's because you actually do want to keep a certain amount of oil on the surface of it to keep the cast iron from rusting, because this is not stainless steel. It's not even steel, it's cast iron. This is just one piece of metal right here, and it's a heavy piece of metal too. These weigh like between 3 and 5 pounds. And one reason I wanted one of these is because, like, that thing is heavy and that thing is staying on that burner. When you have like an aluminum one, like a Teflon aluminum frying pan, you hit that thing the wrong way, it could go flying off the stove. This thing ain't flying anywhere unless you move it. Unless you intend to move it, it's not going anywhere. So I really like that. So I'm going to take some broth here. That's pork broth from a pork chop I made. And I'm going to use that to cook the eggs in. So give me a second here. Got the eggs out. Going to turn on the burner. I'm going to go with 4 eggs. Usually when I scramble eggs, I go with 4. It's kind of the right number for me. This is exciting. I really have been kind of, not aggressively, but I've been just kind of toying with the idea of having one of these for a long time. And I mean, they not only last a lifetime, they last several lifetimes. So I like having stuff that doesn't need to be replaced. I like having stuff that you buy one and it's one and done. You don't have to worry about replacing it, getting another one, you're good. And if my kitchen looks dirty, that's because it is. I'm a guy. I don't really bother too much with keeping, and I don't cook too much either. So, except for just stuff on the stove here. Now what I usually do is I wait for the egg white to start showing its color, and then at that point I start scrambling the eggs in the pan itself. And I scramble and I scramble and I scramble them as they're cooking, because that airs them out. Because if you don't do that, sometimes it just comes out like a loaf. You know, it comes out like this rubbery plate-shaped loaf, and I don't like that. I like it airy, and you know, I like it to. I don't like it to be just this sponge, basically. I mean, that's another way of describing it. It kind of comes out like a flat sponge, and I prefer this way. So we will. We will wait here. I apologize for the delay. It's funny, the new ones look a lot like the old ones. They really have this, they all have this same basic design. And they are made from one solid piece of metal. And even if they get fairly rusted, they can be repaired. Because the metal is so thick, it really takes a while for these things to lose their utility. You just have to keep them out of the open air and not expose them to too much moisture. To clean them, you really just have to kind of wipe them down. The new ones, I noticed the new ones I saw in the store, the new ones have kind of a slightly bumpier surface, and that may be just how casting process has changed, but I think what it really has to do with is that they did that so that the oil, when you wipe them down or wash them, the oil kind of gets between the bumps on the surface, and that way you never completely remove the layer of coating that it needs to stay seasoned and protected from rust. So that's just a guess, but when I saw that and I thought about it, I thought I bet that's why they do that, to kind of keep a coating from or to keep a coating always on there even when you wash them. Okay, and at this point I'm going to start scrambling. I'm going to do this very lightly because I don't want to scratch the pan up too much. I'm going to try to scramble this up without hitting the surface too much. If I'm talking like I don't really know what I'm talking about, it's because I probably don't. I mean, I don't think I've said anything incorrect. It's just that I'm not that much of a chef or a cook. I'm really not. I like food. I love food, but I'm not a foodie, as they would say. I have pretty simple tastes when it comes to food. And this is a very impromptu video too. It is not rehearsed or anything, so if things go wrong, they go wrong. That's pretty much all there is to it. I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit. One thing I did read is that because they're made of iron, they don't conduct heat as well as aluminum does. So it takes a little longer for them to heat up, but then at the same time, they retain their heat longer. So sometimes you can turn the heat off and still cook stuff, even without the stove on, for long periods of time. the lack of Teflon or any kind of non-stick coating definitely does make a bit of a difference. I am cooking with broth. Maybe if I cooked with vegetable oil it would be a little different. Maybe I'll add a little bit of oil. Yeah, from now on I think I'll cook with vegetable oil instead of broth. Usually I give the broth to the cats, but this broth had a little bit of extra salt in it, so I didn't want to give that to the cats, just to be on the safe side. Well, I think that about does it. Okay. Well, once that cools off a little bit, I'm definitely going to have to scrape it, but there are the eggs. I'll try a little bit. Oh, those are good. Those are good. I think this has been a bit of a success, so thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments about your favorite cast iron skillets in your life. If you like hobby videos like this, you'll like my channel Captain Unusual, so please consider taking a look at that and subscribing, and we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.